Hi everyone, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. I have a bunch of these little cards, file folders in fact, that I cut into tiny little pieces and then doodled on them. And I decided it was time to do something with them. So I sorted them into piles of similar shapes. And this is not a new idea by any means, but I've never done this really before. I was thinking of making like an accordion little booklet out of each pile, and most of the other sides are blank, so I will have to decide what I'm going to do with those. But first things first, I'm going to take each pile and clean them up. So I'm going to round any corners and I'm going to do any inking, and then I will be back when I'm done with that. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so these are not all the same exact size, but that's because these were scraps. And so I wasn't, at the time I made them, I wasn't thinking I was going to make a book or anything with them, but now I just thought, why not? Because they're just sitting around and they need something. And I already have so much loose stuff, I just thought, why not try something? Alright, so I have to pick a cover, and it might be the largest. And then I have to go through and just make sure that they're all roughly facing the same direction. Some of these I did color and others I did not. Most of them are not colored. And I made these cards watching a lot of different people. Some of them were Melinda Barlow on YouTube, Kelly Bluen on YouTube, and there's probably others, but those are the ones that stick out in my memory right now, just because I'm looking to see what I've done here. Almost like a deck of cards. In fact, if you had altered playing cards, you may have ventured down this creative path before. Okay, I'm going to start with this one because the pieces are a little bit more uniformly shaped. So I think what I will do is do like a hinge. And I think I'm going to use book page. My original plan was to use cloth, but I think that will get too bulky. So let's see what this will do. Pages don't all have to be the same size. I mean the hinge page here. Alright, keep in mind I haven't done this before and I did not watch a tutorial either, so I'm kind of winging it today, but I really had no other plans for a video and this came to mind, so I guess, do we have to fold this first? I don't know. We can fold it after. So I'm just gonna put a dot of glue on either side, and that was more than I wanted. I guess they can be fairly close together because they're not going to need a lot of room for folding, I don't think. I think the last time I did anything with hinges was the Christmas card journal at Christmas time. That was a lot of fun. Alright, so if I continue doing this, this won't be an accordion book, and I'm okay with that. It'll just be a little notebook. It'll be one page, and then we'll just move to the next one. This could probably be stuffed into a journal pocket, depending on how thick we make them. Yeah, so how are you guys doing today? I've been seeing a lot of pictures of spring on the internet, and that looks great. So far we're not having a whole lot of spring here, but we are looking forward to it. I might have to use smaller pages or smaller hinge strips, because some of these drawings go right to the edge. Like this one, it'll cover up the main part. Okay. Oops, I did that wrong. I had to flip the page before I attached it. Otherwise, I would get an accordion book. Okay, that's how that works. And flip. And we want them to be fairly even, I suppose. This is really not fancy at all. That's okay. I'll use some of this dark colored stuff. I was thinking about a cover, but I haven't really come up with anything. Hopefully I'm on camera, that you can see what I'm doing. That's probably one of my big issues, whether the camera's turned on or whether I'm actually in shot. Yeah, so if you are like me and you like to doodle, sometimes you may have a bunch of little cards laying around, and this might be an option. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. I don't know, I'm not really loving those hinges. What else can we do? I could have used washi tape on those. A little late. Okay, I'm gonna stop with this one. Okay, so I was gonna stop with this project because I am not loving it. And then I decided otherwise. I am going to continue, and I will not give up until I do love it. Probably won't make it very thick because it's already getting a little on the bulky side for joining here. But once I do this one, and I'm just gonna use the ones that actually have room for joining. This one is kind of too close to the edge, and so is that one. So it's a good way to make the book a little thinner. So this will take me probably longer than I initially wanted to spend on it, but what I'm going to do is also make the hinges a little more decorative than just having these little pieces of paper on there. And I don't know, I might even put a cover on it. It might even look better already with just a simple cover. So what can I do? I've got, the next idea is a piece of this. But it's flimsy, so I'm going to have to back it onto something. And I happen to have 2 blank pieces left. Like so. They're a little smaller than the rest, but that's okay. I just need a spine, about 1/4 of an inch, like so. If I had known I was going to do this, I could have drawn on both sides, but I did not. Alright, so I'm going to glue these down. And I'm going to leave some extra room so that I can extra room around the bottom and the sides. Alright, and then I'm going to need another fold there for the spine, like so. And then I'm going to cut around this. Something like that. And then I will stick this in later, probably with my hot glue. I have my light plugged in here. Okay. I will just make this a tiny bit bigger than these, but smaller than this. Now, I am not really big on measuring, as you can probably tell. This needs a little corner, I think. I'm going to switch. And if you think this is kind of a silly project, yes, it very well might be exactly that. But sometimes, I don't know, I get overwhelmed by complicated projects, and then I end up doing nothing. So I figured I would just do this today. And I'm just going to finish or fill in that corner there. Like so. And then I'll fill in that little white thing there. Looks like a crack, doesn't it? Okay. Something like that. This didn't go down all the way. Did I not glue it? Okay, something like that. If it comes up again, I'll use better glue. Alright, so there's the cover. a simple homemade cover for a simple homemade project. All right, put the lid on there. And I'll put that back in there. And then I will see if my hot glue is ready. Oh, it's warm, so let's see how this will turn out. I just want to check this. That's not bad. It actually looks like a real book. If I didn't know better. Okay, I'm going to put the glue on the spine once it decides to come out. Meanwhile, I can ink this. All right, let's see. Alright, so I'm just going to hold it for a little bit until it's I want it to be in the spine, not necessarily glued to the covers. Like so. So there we have a little booklet, and I can still put things in it. I don't think I'll be drawing on the other side. I was just thinking, what if we fill up? We could fill up the blank spots with smaller pictures. I had these two left over. That could go on the front. In fact, I was just thinking if I wanted to make, and that's showing, so I'm just gonna put some in the crack here. Okay, that's good, I think. Don't want to put too much glue in there. But I was thinking if we could put something like this would cover up the whole front page there. And then we could make like a tiny little pocket out of it. So let's do that. And then we'll have to stick in something in there. I thought this panda was the smallest one, but that might work. All right. And then we could do the same thing on the back with this big one. I think that's the second biggest one I have. And for this one, could do the same thing. Well, this is either going to be a really dud project or it's going to be the highlight of my week, one or the other. And then we can put something else little in there. Maybe something like a little stamp that we made not too long ago, except it's too big. I have this other drawing, but that would be too big to sit in there. I'll think about that. All right, so then we still have these back sides like there. Now I'm kind of wishing they were all a little more uniform in size, but okay, I'm just gonna stick this on there. No pocket in this one. Okay, and then the next page. Okay, I'm just gonna see if this is straight because it feels like it's not. Yeah, it's a little off at the top here. Now for this one, I was thinking maybe we could do like a top pocket. Those little tags we made, or tags? Yeah, mini tags we made the other day. They might work really well in here. For a second, I thought I had it upside down. Okay. Just want to make sure the pages are not sticking, because then we wouldn't be able to open them. Might do the small one right in the middle because I really wasn't planning on adding anything when I made it originally, so these And now I don't know. There, probably like that. I don't know if this book is going to end up being too wide now. Well, so far so good. And I want to see if there's anything I can maybe chop down, but not so far. I was just wondering if there was maybe one of the pictures that I could chop in half. And then put the bottom. Maybe a better one to do that with would be this one. Chop it in half this way. And put the top there and the bottom there. And make that a tuck. I know, we're living dangerously now. Tiny things. Alright, so I gotta go back to this one. I think I will maybe I'll put something colored in here just to make it a little more interesting. Alright. So then we have to come up with something for in there. Then we only have one thing left. And maybe that one. There, now we have an actual book with stuff on every side. And it's almost perfect, except for what's sticking out of this pocket here. And that's okay. All right. What else do we need to, oh yes, so we have to fill up some of these tiny pockets and tuck spots. Okay, I'm just gonna put these aside for right now. Well, that used up most of my little drawings. Maybe for that one, I could put this in there. It's a little tight. Okay, let me see what I have. Okay, so I decided to go look at my little tags that we made the other day. And let's see if there's any really tiny ones. Kind of like that one. It's got a, I think it's a seashell. That's better. Okay. like so. And then we had a pocket there. Yeah, maybe I didn't make enough small things. Okay, so that was that. Were there any other pockets? That one, the one that we had put a notch into. There we go, that one. And that's probably going to be too long. Yeah. But you know, who says we can't change things? That's still very cute. It still has a butterfly on it. In fact, this one here could have one at the top and one at the bottom. Kind of fancy. And then this one could have this one. Like so. Whoa, that's bulky. All of a sudden. Okay, so that one, I need something without something bulky on it. Well, remember I said this could be two, or it could be one long one. I'm going to do that and change it as well. So the washi tape ended up playing a role in this one after all. And for a mini journal, there are some spots in here that could be used for journaling on a tiny scale. And I think that's all the tiny tags I made the other day. I had no idea I was going to use them right away. But they sure came in handy. And so there's not a lot of hardware in here. There's a brad there and a brad there. And that's it. I would say that's like pretty close to as full as you want for a tiny journal. Now, I'm just thinking, if I hadn't glued that, I could have put it on a piece of string and attached it to the outside of a journal. I might still be able to do that. I'll have to see what comes of it. Because it is pretty bulky, and I don't know if I would want that inside of a journal. But it probably would be a cute, like a dangle thing, attachment. So, yeah, I think I would probably have to sacrifice some of the hinges, maybe right down the middle, and then put the string in there. Otherwise, we'd have to punch a hole or something, and then it might not stay closed very well. I'm not sure. I don't have a whole lot of experience with these things, but I think dangling on a string would be cute. So anyways, that's the project for today. Something a little different from me. And I don't know, what do you think? Too fiddly, too simple, not worth your time? I don't know. You decide. Let me know if you like that or not. All right, have a great day, guys. God bless. See you next time. Bye for now.